Good morning, students. This is Mrs. Sadi Joseph, your moral science teacher. Welcome back to the online teaching for the session 2020-21. Let us continue with the same chapter, that is our responsibility to the poor. In the previous video, I explained a story about Mrs. Bhagyavati. Also, we are discussing about our responsibilities to the poor. I asked some questions. Did you find out the answers for that questions? Okay. Our first question was, what are the ways in which the government is trying to uplift the poor? Let us see. 2/3 of people in India live in poverty. More than 800 million people in India are considered poor. 800 million people. Most of them live in the countryside and keep afloat with odd jobs. They can't even find out or even afford the necessities of their life. It's very difficult for them. How our government is trying to uplift the poor? Let us see. There are so many programs hard made to uplift these poor people. First one, Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. It offers a platform for universal access to banking services. Second one, Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana. This scheme is a 1-year renewable life insurance plan. Third one, Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana. It aims to meet education and marriage related expenses of the girl child. Fourth one, Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. It offers an insurance cover of rupees 5 lakhs per family. This is the largest health insurance scheme in the world. And fifth one, National Social Assistance Program. It is a social security scheme for the welfare of elderly, disabled, widows and families whose primary breadwinner has died. So many other programs also there. Try to find out. Our next question was, is there any agency that helps poor people? Yes, of course. There are so many agencies who are trying to help the poor people. So many NGOs are there. They are trying to help the poor people in different ways by providing eatables, medicines, education. Some good people are there. Personally, they are doing help to the poor people. So in different ways, our government and some other agencies are trying to uplift the standard of the poor people. Let us continue with the same chapter. Poverty is a worldwide phenomenon. Our social structure is such that there will be richer and the poor to grow poorer. The gap between the rich and the poor is ever on the increase. The rich is able to squander money on luxurious things and in throwing lavish parties. The poor, on the other hand, finds it difficult to afford even the necessities of life. About 80 crore people in the developing countries do not have enough food to eat. In India, also more than 22 crore people go to sleep without square meals every day, according to the latest reports available. So, our social structure is such that there will be rich becomes richer and the poor grow to poorer. So there is a big gap between the rich and the poor. Rich people, they are spending a lot of money on luxurious things or organizing parties. You know that so many people are there. They're spending crores and crores of money on wedding parties, birthday parties, and all. On the other hand, the poor people, they are finding it difficult to afford even the necessities of life. They are not getting proper food for not even one time. More than 22 crore people go to sleep without one time meals every day in India. In India, the problem of poverty is growing from bad to worse each day. The Industrial Revolution has not helped in solving this problem. It, on the other hand, has worsened the conditions of the farmers and the ordinary laborers. The big factories and industries always help the economically well to do people. Only the wealthy and the influential people gain from them. The daily laborers and other weaker section of the society are the losers. They remain poor in the midst of plenty. So the Industrial Revolution was not a solution for this problem, means the problem of poverty. It is growing from bad to worse each day. It has worsened the conditions of the farmers and the ordinary laborers. You may be knowing that so many farmers did suicide in the previous years. Why? Because of their worst condition. Due to the bad weather or by industrialization, they lost their farming or agriculture. So it became difficult to meet the expenditure of their families. Very poor condition. Big factories and industries always help the economically well-to-do people. The daily laborers and the other weaker section of the society, they remain poor in the midst of plenty. Today, poverty is pulling the rural population to the cities and towns. They go there in search of employment. Moreover, the educated rural youth do not prefer to stay in their villages. There are no suitable employment possibilities there. There is thus a mad rush towards the urban areas. It is said that by 2005, every second person in India will be residing in the urban area. This will inevitably affect food production and add it to the urban problems of housing, employment, sanitation, and other areas of human concern. Another reason for poverty is unemployment. Even though people are highly educated, they are not getting proper job, proper employment. So, from rural areas, these people are running towards the urban areas in search of job. So this will affect the food production and add to the urban problem of housing, employment, sanitation, and other areas of human concern. Peaceful progress is not possible in the midst of poverty. Industrial poverty all over the world has already led the people into the situation of political unrest, violence, and hatred between employers and workers. So, in the midst of poverty, peaceful progress is not possible. This led the people into the situation of political unrest, violence, and hatred between employers and workers. Poverty and deprivation make people become aggressive, and violent crimes are bound to increase in proportion to the swelling problems of the poverty. So the poverty can increase crimes. A nation that wants to tread the path of peaceful progress will have to make provisions to eradicate poverty substantially. It calls for cooperation and involvement of the citizens. It also calls for a change of heart of the greedy and the avaricious. We must not stand aside with a why should I bother attitude. To build a happy nation in which every citizen of the world can have his basic needs met, we must begin here and now with me and you. It is better to light a candle than to curse the darkness. So, if a nation wants to lead in the path of a peaceful progress, will have to make provisions to eradicate poverty from the nation. So it is very essential to eradicate poverty from the nation. Then only we can lead a peaceful life. For this, it calls for cooperation and involvement of the citizens. Citizens' cooperation and involvement is necessary to eradicate poverty from the nation. So instead of standing aside with a why should I bother attitude, we have to cooperate with the government. Then we can build a happy nation in which every citizen of the world can have his basic needs met. So now itself we have to begin. It is the time to begin. How we can help the poor people? What we can do? These are the some methods in which we can help the poor. By giving them moral support, showing heartfelt humility and respect, it makes them aware that someone really does care about them and trying to improve their condition. Also, by providing financial assistance to the poor, it can help them to solve the basic problems of living. You can provide nutritious meals to the poor and needy. You can donate your old belongings like old clothes, old appliances, furnitures, and other materials. And the important thing that to understand the needs and requirements of the poor and needy people, help them to overcome the adversities of their life. So it is better to light a candle than to curse the darkness. I hope all of you purchased the moral science textbook. In the midterm exam, moral science also will be there, and objective type questions will be coming. Multiple choice questions will be coming in the exam. So, thorough study of the lessons is required. Those who are not purchased the books, purchase it as early as possible. This is the end of this chapter. I will come with a new video in the next moral science period. Till then, thank you, bye bye, and take care.